I'm Nicole Bashir, and this is my audience. It started off slow, first baggy clothes, then disappearing after meals, until finally Shelby's mom noticed blood splatters on the toilet. Shelby was bulimic. She began purging when she was 11 years old. For 2 years after finding out, her family's life revolved around the disorder. In spite of her parents' best effort, Shelby was found dead in her bedroom. It was found that she had died from an electrolyte imbalance from her bulimia. According to the National Eating Disorders Association, Shelby was the first person that's autopsy directly stated cause of death as an eating disorder. There are people like Shelby all over whose stories could turn out differently with the correct treatment. One career that can offer help to people suffering from eating disorders is Christian psychologist. My goal today is to give you an idea of how eating disorders and the physical and emotional consequences that can result. Then show how professional treatment with a trained psychologist can have a positive impact on the fight against eating disorders. Eating disorders have a higher fatality rate than any other mental illness, yet little treatment is available. There are 3 types of eating disorders: anorexia nervosa, bulimia nervosa, and binge eating disorder. The South Carolina Department of Mental Health defines anorexia as self-imposed starvation. Bulimia is excessive eating resulting in purging. Someone who is suffering from binge eating disorder consumes large amounts of food, usually in secret. The physical consequences of any of these disorders can be fatal. 20% of people with anorexia will die from complications. Bulimia can result in irreversible damage to the esophagus and kidneys as a result of the use of laxatives. Overeating can cause other problems such as diabetes and heart disease. Eating disorders can cause extreme emotional damage. Depression is a common side effect of all 3 disorders. Suicide, sadly, is a common ending for those suffering with an eating disorder. The mortality rate of an eating disorder falls from 20% to 2 to 3% with professional treatment, such as therapy with a psychologist. Treatment can teach someone with an eating disorder how to cope with the emotional damage and hopefully prevent suicide. Treatment with a psychologist would also address the underlying causes. Usually the patient's whole thinking process must be redirected. Body dysmorphia is the most common cause of an eating disorder. MedicineNet defines body dysmorphia as a psychiatric disorder characterized by excessive preoccupation with imagined defects in physical appearance. If the disorder is caught early enough, severe physical complications can be avoided. After ensuring physical safety, a patient suspected of having an eating disorder should have a psychiatric evaluation. A treatment plan can be made that includes participating in therapy with a trained psychologist. Psychologists who are interested in working with eating disorders could seek jobs in multiple places, such as the Department of Human Services, school systems, government agencies, and private treatment centers. I want to conclude by stressing how devastating the physical and emotional consequences of eating disorders are. This is becoming a growing problem in the USA and around the world. It will continue to be a problem until people are more open about receiving treatment for their disorder. Mental illness is usually something people struggle with in secret, but if change is going to happen, then awareness needs to be raised of professional help that is available. In regards to the story of Shelby, her family realized just how little treatment was available. Shelby's mother said, "I had been diagnosed with breast cancer, and it became startlingly clear to our family that if you have an understood and accepted and government-funded illness, you'll go into a treatment system where there are standards, protocols, staging, a network of how you need to be handled to have the most effective outcomes." Shelby did not have that opportunity.